I'll tell you my greatest regret. I didn't know the importance of that morning TM in those days.
Wow.
If I had 2 TMs, I'd still be doing the show now.
Right.
I did not have the energy. I was exhausted.
Sometimes you
painfully exhausted all the time.
Yeah.
Remember, I would rehearse all day with the actors and then sit down with Larry and start writing the script.
Can you believe you did? I bet you now you can't even imagine doing that.
I can imagine it.
You can?
I'm an animal.
You talk about transcendental meditation. For me, especially, I started doing it just at 18 years old, and my mother brought me to a TM center. My mother was very depressed because her sister died, and her sister was like her mother. They're born on the same day, a year apart. And when my aunt died, very young, my mother got really bad. I didn't know if she was going to go upstairs and kill herself or what she was going to do, but I would sit there with her, and my father would come home and say, listen, he'd say, let's become alcoholics. If that'll help you, I'll start drinking heavily with you. And he couldn't figure. My father said that to my mother. So I only tell you this because how profound. Yeah, it really is. Yeah. He's a good man. Yeah. Profoundly depressed that she was. This is what I'm trying to tell you. It was that bad. She tried psychiatry. But she didn't like that idea. Very closed off to it. Nothing worked. I go off to college. I get a call my freshman year from a woman who sounded completely different. I can't tell you what's happened in my life. I feel unbelievable, profoundly different. Organically happy, not a contrived happiness.
Right.
So I started meditating, and I was taking philosophy in college, and I went, oh, I know about that, mantras, and I know all about that. She goes, no, you don't know. She was watching the Maharishi being interviewed by Johnny Carson late at night.
Right.
She thought she was going to go to a TM center and meet the Maharishi, and he would teach her. So she goes, and there's some, there's Bob from Long Island, who teaches her. My father goes, I'm not doing them, and this is his MO. He always goes with her, and he starts meditating. And when I saw the change in them, my mother said, that's it, you're coming home from school, and I'm taking you to TM. My mother wanted me to be a TM teacher in the worst way. And I got to interview the Maharishi twice in my life.
You did?
Yeah. And I brought my mother with me, and she was in tears because she owes her life to him. And people shouldn't think that it's like a religion or anything like that. It's just I say it's like brushing your teeth. It's a technique. And yet this technique changed her from the inside out. She is a completely different human being, like reincarnated.
Really?
Yeah.
From that point?
Yeah. And it was so profound with her. But when someone starts when they're 18, it's even less profound because you don't have the amount of stress that she had and stuff.
Right.
But it was such a difference. And so everyone in my life meditates. I am a big proponent of meditation, and for radio, I feel it added tremendous creativity, and having that morning and afternoon. In fact, to this day, after I do the radio show, my head is pounding so bad from the headphones and the loud noise and 5 hours of headphones and talking. I mean, it's exhausting.
Right.
I go and I meditate, and I walk out and I have the whole rest of my day. And I'm a new person.
I know.
I don't think I could really live without it.
No.
Yeah.
I just started because I met a TM guy because I wanted Jess to do it.
Yeah.
She learned it. I was talking with a guy. I was talking about something. He says, you should try. He says, how many times a day? I go, I only do once. He says, you should try the mornings. I started this in January, Howard. In January.
What do you mean?
59.
But you had learned a long time ago how to meditate.
I learned the same time you did.
But you didn't realize the importance of doing it twice a day?
I did the morning one for a while. I don't get this. I just got up. What am I doing?
Right.
And it just became.
Yeah.
And all those years of doing the show would have been a different experience.
And for me, getting up at 4 and then making time to meditate, it's a pain in the ass, but I'll do it. And there are times you're there and you just go, I don't want to be doing this.
Yes, right.
Yeah. I've always proselytized on the air. I don't push,
Me too.
but I talk about it whenever I can.
Yeah,
I think what David Lynch is doing.
I'm bored with it. I'm just with everybody.
Yeah, because you care enough about people that you want them to have that same happiness.
But a lot of people can't install it into their lives and realize this is valuable, I'm going to make the time.
I have a theory about that.
Okay.
I think a lot of people start to do it and they feel really good from it. And they're like, I feel good, I don't need to do this. They don't realize that it was because of the meditation. And then they kind of just drop it. And the Maharishi used to say, if you're too busy to meditate 20 minutes twice a day, then you're just too busy.
Yeah.
It's something you got to examine your life.
Sure.
He was a brilliant guy.
Really?
Just incredible.
I don't understand how you got to interview him.
So my mother became very big with the TMers, and I was on the radio at NBC Radio, and I for the first year that I got in radio, I made $96 a week. I got to live in a monastery up in Westchester. It was called the Senegal. When you came in, you had to be silent from 10 o'clock on at night. The lights had to go out. You weren't allowed any TV or radio. And so I got to know a lot of people in TM, and I made friends with a lot of people. And then came a time where I was doing NBC, and I didn't want to be disrespectful to the Maharishi by having him on my radio show, which was wildly popular at that point. But it was a comedy show, and I don't put him in that category.
Right, right.
So I was approached if I'd have him on. I said, I want to come down, I want to fly out and do a interview with him, air it as a public affairs show on the weekend. And they were thrilled. And so 2 different occasions I sat with him and talked with him. And to bring my mother to him, I'm watching my mother in tears.
Wow.
Nothing better than that, man. So,
That's great.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible.